There are players who appear in football like thunder, loud, chaotic, impossible to ignore. And there are others who arrive like storms that nobody sees forming. Ryan Roberto was the second type. No fireworks, no golden contracts, no world headlines. Just a boy from Brazil, carrying a dream too heavy for most kids his age to even understand, and yet somehow he carried it with a calm face, like someone who had already walked through fire long before the cameras ever found him. This is not just a story about football. This is a story about rebirth, about identity, about a silent warrior who came into Europe not to be a star, but to be a revolution. Because sometimes football doesn't need another superstar. Sometimes football needs a storm. Before the stadium lights, before the chants, before the cameras, there was only a dusty pitch in Brazil. Not the kind people imagine. No perfect grass. No academy infrastructure. Just a small community field where the earth was dry, the goals were crooked, and the ball was older than most of the kids playing. But that was enough, because that was where Ryan Roberto learned the first rule of football. If you want something badly enough, the world will test you again and again until it knows you're ready. Every touch he took was a message. Every sprint was a question. Every goal was an answer. And those who watched him, even in those early days, felt something unusual. A presence, a weight, a calm intensity that didn't fit a child. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't ego. It was destiny whispering. Talent alone doesn't create legends. Pain does. Rejections do. Silence does. Ryan Roberto faced all three. As he progressed through youth levels, scouts came and scouts left. Some praised him. Some doubted him. Some ignored him entirely. He was too quiet, too humble, too introspective. He doesn't look like a star, they said. And maybe they were right, because Ryan Roberto wasn't meant to look like a star. He was meant to become one. The kind of star forged in a furnace, not in the spotlight. There were nights he thought about giving up. Nights where he questioned if destiny had made a mistake. But every morning, he woke up before the sun, before the world, before the doubt could win. Because while talent makes you good, obsession makes you unstoppable. Europe doesn't open its doors easily. Not for kids like Ryan. Not for players without hype. But football has a strange way of rewarding those who suffer in silence. One performance, one tournament, one scout who decided to stay 10 minutes longer than planned. And the message arrived. We want you in Europe. Not in a giant, not in a world-famous academy, but in a place where he could grow without being consumed. He packed a bag that had more dreams than clothes, said goodbye to the pitch that raised him, and boarded a plane with eyes that didn't show fear, but responsibility, because he wasn't going there only for himself. He was going for everyone who ever believed in him. Europe was cold. Not just the weather, the football, the culture, the expectations. Every pass had to be perfect. Every decision had to be instant. Every movement had to be mathematical. And for the first time in years, Ryan struggled. The pace was different. The pressure was different. The loneliness was overwhelming. But struggle is a gift disguised as pain. And Ryan embraced it. He stayed after training, ran when others rested, watched tapes until his eyes hurt. He wasn't just adapting. He was evolving, transforming, sharpening. By the time others noticed, it was already too late. The quiet boy from Brazil was becoming the most dangerous young midfielder his club had seen in years. Some players dribble with flair. Some defend with power. Some pass with precision. Ryan Roberto did all three. But that wasn't what made him special. What made him special was his fearlessness. He played as if every game was his last, as if the pitch was his battlefield, as if the ball was not an object, but a responsibility. He pressed like a soldier, created like an artist, ran like a ghost. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest, but he was the one who never disappeared, the one who never hid, the one who never broke. There comes a moment in every career when destiny stops whispering and starts speaking loudly. For Ryan Roberto, that moment arrived early. In a season filled with chaos, injuries, and pressure, he became the anchor, the heartbeat, the thinker, the voice the team didn't know it needed. And then came the match, the one that changed everything. 90 minutes that transformed him from prospect to problem to every opponent. He dominated, controlled, dictated, destroyed, and somewhere watching closely were the giants. Not one, not two, several. Clubs that had spent fortunes searching for midfielders suddenly found themselves staring at a teenager who didn't blink under pressure. A teenager who looked at the biggest stage and walked towards it, not away from it. Headlines started coming, not loud, not exaggerated, but curious. Who is Ryan Roberto? Where did this kid come from? Why does he play like a veteran trapped in a teenager's body? Analysts replayed his clips. Fans clipped his tackles. Scouts rewrote their reports. But the truth was simple. He wasn't playing beyond his age. He was playing within his destiny. Every era in football begins with a question. Messi started with, is he too small? Cristiano started with, is he too skinny? Modric started with, is he strong enough? And now, Ryan Roberto begins with, is the world ready for him? His rise is not about talent, not about numbers, not about hype. It's about a player who doesn't just chase greatness. He expects it, because greatness isn't something you wish for. It's something you build, brick by brick, hit by hit, day by day. And Ryan Roberto is building something terrifying. A midfielder who thinks like a veteran, moves like a winger, fights like a defender, and leads like a captain. He is not the future. He is the announcement of the future. Remember the beginning? The storm nobody saw forming? It's no longer silent, no longer distant. It's here. And for the first time in a long time, Europe feels a shift, a new force rising, a new energy buzzing, a new name spreading from academy halls to stadium seats. Ryan Roberto, not a star, a force of nature, a player built in silence, to explode loudly. Football is entering a new generation. Old legends are fading. New faces are arriving. And in the middle of this transition, one truth is becoming undeniable. Ryan Roberto is coming. Not slowly, not cautiously, not politely, but relentlessly. And when he reaches the top, because he will, the world won't ask if he deserved it. They'll ask how they didn't see it coming. He was not born to follow the footsteps of legends. He was born to build the path that others will follow. If you believe this new era has already begun, if you believe Ryan Roberto is the storm the football world is not ready for, then subscribe, leave your like, and share this video with every football fan who needs to know what is coming. Because this story is just beginning, and you'll want to be here when the world finally wakes up.